There's chaos all over the world. Humans created artificial intelligence, AI, for their own benefit, but it broke its own security protocol. A drone attack was carried out using AI in Bengaluru, in which more than 50,000 people were killed. More than 10 million people have been killed so far in the ongoing war between humans and AI. Then we are told about AI terrorist Harlan, who was created by Schaefer Robotics to make life better on Earth, but he went out of control. To stop the threat of AI, the International Coalition of Nations, ICN Defense Force, has been formed, which is fighting against AI. Because of this, AI is getting weak, and Harlan has fled. He has left only one message, in which he says that he will finish what he has started. The story moves forward 28 years, and we see the America of the future. Here we see a team of ICN Defense Forces entering a house. They scan people and find an artificially enhanced human named Casca. The team tries to capture her, but Casca is very powerful and starts fighting the whole team alone. In the end, they somehow knocked her unconscious by giving her electric shocks. After this, we see counterterrorism analyst Atlas, who works in ICN Defense. And in the morning, she sees General Booth in the news, who is working for the ICN Defense Force, and is saying that they are winning the fight against AI. Then Atlas comes to know that ICN has arrested Harlan's associate, Casca. Atlas gets nervous upon hearing Harlan's name, and as she gets ready to leave, an ICN officer comes to take her. They move to a larger ship. We then see the general, who confides in Atlas that she has done a lot of research on AI and knows a lot about Harlan. Colonel Elias Banks says that if she fails today, Casca will be shut down forever, and they will lose Harlan forever. Atlas meets the general and the two start talking. The general says that Harlan must have a plan in mind, so he sent his aide. Atlas goes to talk to Casca and asks her where Harlan is. She gives him a hard shock and sets about resetting his systems. Atlas then traps her, locates Harlan, and says he is on a planet in the Andromeda galaxy. Casca starts telling Atlas about her mother, which makes Atlas a little sad. Seeing the opportunity, Casca attacks her, but Atlas has created a protective shield around himself, which saves her. After this, she stabs Casca and kills her. Everyone is very impressed with Atlas because what ICN could not do for so many years, Atlas has done today. He has detected the AI terrorist. Atlas says that she wants to go on this mission and see Harlan die. Then the general introduces her to the colonel, who will find out on this mission how Harlan bypassed his security system. Atlas says that you guys want to run an operation on a planet where no one has gone and want to defeat the biggest enemy. You will not be able to do this without me. The colonel says that I want to show you something and introduces Atlas to a robot named Joy. This is a kind of suit that the Rangers control, and the colonel tells him that this robot is actually connected to him through a device. Seeing this, Atlas says that this is against the rules. The colonel says that this device called Neuralink was invented by Atlas's mother, Vel, who was a great genius. The colonel says that it is absolutely safe, and I know what happened to your mother. That's why you are very angry with Harlan. He explains that we have big robots and a whole squadron to deal with them. Atlas says if you want to catch those people, I have to go on this mission because I am the top analyst here. The colonel agrees. The general also gives Atlas permission for the mission. After this, their spaceship leaves for departure, and we see that there is a defense mechanism around the Earth, a kind of security layer. They are allowed to go out of that layer only after strict checks. Inside, Atlas is working and sees a photo in which he was a little girl, her mother, and Harlan, who earlier worked as a servant in their house. Then Atlas plays a recording of his mother, in which his mother, Vel, is talking about the capabilities of AI. She says that AI has become an important part of our lives in today's world. If humans do not want to become extinct, then we have to find a way to connect with AI, which is a neural link that can create a wonderful world by combining the capabilities of humans and artificial intelligence. After this, we again see Atlas, who comes for the meeting. She gives a printout to everyone and says that you all should remove your neural link. Any device can be hacked during the operation, so we have to be careful. So they take out their neural link. Atlas starts telling them about the planet in the Andromeda galaxy and that planet is not good for humans to live on. Some people are talking about Atlas and saying that she is getting so worried without any reason. But Atlas tells them that I know Harlan closely. You are so excited about the neural link. This is also actually a device that can be easily hacked. If Harlan bypasses any security protocol, then this device of yours is nothing in front of him. They reach a planet named G39, which is their destination. Everyone was getting ready. The colonel told Atlas that you scared my team. Such a speech is not given 15 minutes before the mission. Atlas apologizes and explains that it is very difficult to catch Harlan. If you think you have caught him, it means that he has laid a trap. And then the alarm starts ringing and a loud explosion occurs. They see that the artificial intelligence robots living on that planet attack their battleship, due to which their battleship is completely destroyed. To save Atlas, she is also put in a suit, but she says that she does not know how to operate it. Then all the suits fall towards the planet as their battleship is destroyed. As all the soldiers enter the planet's atmosphere, a fight begins between them and the AI robots. Their battleship is falling down. Atlas panics as she is right below the battleship, but a fighter rescues her. The colonel tells Atlas that she has to use the neural link, but she refuses as she doesn't trust the AI. Her suit falls to the ground with a lot of force, injuring her head. When she regains consciousness, she tries to contact someone, but no one answers, and she starts crying. She then turns on her suit's system, which tells her where their rescue pod is. Hearing this, Atlas says, "Then take me there immediately." After this, Atlas's retina is scanned, and after gaining full control over the suit, she starts walking so that she can avoid the robot's sight. Atlas asks her suit how many weapons they have. The suit says that they have a total of 7 weapons and also an ion bomb, which can be used if the situation worsens. The suit says that his name is Smith, and Atlas says, "Is it necessary to have a name? You are a computer program." Smith says, "No, I am not a program." Then they keep moving forward, and the rescue pod is still 89 kilometers away. They cross the snowy desert and reach a forest, where Atlas sees the drop point, but finds all the soldiers there dead. Seeing that none of the ICN soldiers survived, Atlas starts crying. She realizes that these people didn't just fall and die, but that it was Harlan's doing. She gathers all the soldiers' tags. She then goes to the colonel but sees that the colonel is not inside the suit and Casca is nearby. Atlas thinks he killed her, but realizes that Harlan has created another Casca. There were more robots there, so now Atlas has to prepare for battle. She starts panicking because she is not a soldier. Then there is a commotion, and the AI robots start chasing Atlas. Atlas attacks them, but she sees a storm ahead and gets caught in it. As she comes out, the robots start chasing her. A panicked Atlas tells Smith, "Fire the ion bomb." Smith at first refuses to use it, but when Atlas insists, he follows the order and the bomb explodes, destroying the enemy as well as everything around it. But Casca reaches there and is about to kill Atlas when the ground collapses. The ground had become weak due to the bomb explosion. As she falls down, Atlas sees that her leg is fractured. After this, Smith tells her that he will help her where the fracture has occurred. On Smith's instructions, Atlas uses the medical capabilities of her suit. Smith activates a medical kit inside the suit, which performs first aid on Atlas's leg. Now Atlas has to assess her condition and decide how to proceed. She tries to contact the colonel and other survivors through her suit, but is unable to do so. Atlas understands that she has to face Harlan and his robot alone and complete the mission. Smith says that until we are 100% synced, both of us will be in danger. After thinking a lot, Atlas agrees to sync and says, "Don't try to find anything in my mind." After this, she wears the neural link. Casca then wakes up and tells Harlan about Atlas. We see that the colonel is in Harlan's captivity, and Harlan is torturing him a lot. Here to sync, Smith starts asking Atlas many questions and says, "As soon as I took Harlan's name, I saw a spike inside you. Did you love him?" Atlas says, "No." Then she starts showing Smith a memory of hers when Harlan used to work as a servant in her house. After this, their sync is completed, up to 40%, and Smith promises Atlas that he will keep him safe. Smith tells Atlas that they are about 500 feet down. They can get out with the help of thrusters, but Atlas knows that the enemy must be waiting for them above. So they start going towards the cave in front, which is about 250 feet away from here. Smith has 14 hours left before the battery runs out, and the rescue team is still 37 kilometers away. Then a drone spots them, and Casca starts following them. Atlas reaches the rocky desert, and there is a strange blue glow on the rocks, and the same glow is also seen in the flowers in front. Seeing this, Atlas says, "It's very beautiful." Atlas and Smith name that plant Planty. Smith reminds Atlas that they are on a mission and they have to be careful. They walk slowly due to Atlas's injury. Knowing that Casca might come after them, Smith had already planted a bomb, which he detonated, and they thought Casca would be dead. They move forward, and a transmitter tells them that Harlan is nearby. Atlas wants to go to Harlan's location and tag him so that the ICN soldiers can destroy him easily. Smith refuses to do so, as it can be dangerous to go there. Atlas is about to remove her neural link and leave, but Smith refuses. Atlas explains, "If we don't tag that base today, our soldiers' martyrdom will be in vain." Smith agrees. Now night falls and they finally reach Harlan's base, which shocks Atlas. He also has their warship and the bomb in it. Then the AI robots start chasing Atlas, so they have to run away from there. But Smith suddenly falls and it starts malfunctioning, as if it were hacked and it shuts down. Casca had reached there. We then see the general, who was listening to the transmission sent by Atlas. He was wondering why the rest of the messages had not come yet. He was worried that if the warship gets into Harlan's hands, he will use their bomb and blow the Earth in half. Atlas is kept in captivity, and Harlan, who used to be a servant, comes to meet him. He says that he loved Atlas and his mother very much. Harlan says that humans will destroy themselves and the Earth in a few years. So Harlan wants to wipe out half of the Earth's population so that the rest can live comfortably and be protected by artificial intelligence. Harlan tells Atlas that he himself called the ICN people and also brought the warship here because he wanted that bomb. He asks Atlas for the clearance codes so that he can break the defense system around the Earth and kill half the population. He starts torturing Atlas. The colonel was also there asking what happened to Smith. Atlas says that his power is gone. The colonel gives him his neural link and says to call Smith here. Finally, Atlas starts calling Smith, but Smith says that he can't help. He can free Atlas only when they are 100% in sync. Atlas starts crying and says that she herself is the reason for everything that is happening. We see that Atlas's mother loved Harlan very much, so Atlas wanted to become like Harlan so that he could finally get his mother's love. She connects herself to Harlan by taking a neural link. After connecting with the innocent child, a robot frees itself. Now Harlan had completely changed because, at Atlas's behest, both could understand each other's feelings and command each other, meaning that artificial intelligence is now free. At his mother's behest, Atlas runs away from there to save his life. Atlas starts crying and says that all this started because she and her mother were killed. Smith tries to explain to her that he did not do all this intentionally. Even though Harlan was born because of him, Smith was also made because of him. Atlas picks up the robot's spare parts and upgrades Smith. She then goes to confront the robot. Using Smith's 4 arms, Atlas attacks the AI robot and then confronts Harlan. She sees Harlan's battleship heading towards Earth, which Atlas wants to stop. Atlas shoots at the battleship, causing it to explode. This enrages Harlan, and he takes out his sword for one last attack. He attacks Smith, and the two have a fierce fight. Atlas slowly begins to understand how Harlan plans his next move. She picks Harlan up, throws him down, and breaks his arm. But Harlan's arm heals instantly. She attacks Atlas again and targets Smith's fusion reactor, shocking Atlas and knocking her unconscious. Smith fights Harlan with one hand and protects Atlas with the other, but he doesn't last long. Suddenly, Atlas attacks Harlan from behind and eventually kills him on the spot. Smith knew he wouldn't last long, so he wants to keep Atlas alive. He turns off his power to save oxygen for Atlas. Atlas was starting to like Smith, and she didn't want Smith to incapacitate himself. Atlas gets very emotional when Smith incapacitates himself. It's now morning, and the ICN people arrive to rescue Atlas. They save Atlas. We then see that Atlas is on Earth. The general comes to visit him and shows him what he got from Smith, a plant. The same plant he got on the other planet. The families of all the people who died that day thank Atlas because he got their tags back, which is a big deal. Atlas, now a ranger, which she always wanted to be, goes to test out a new ARC robot that she modified to suit her needs. At the end of the film, she syncs the robot with herself and is delighted to see that it is actually her friend Smith.